broadcasting live from the Norman P. Murray Community Center in Mission Viejo, California, where the average high temperature in January is 66 degrees. It's Breakfast with Gary and Kelly with special musical guest, Jackiem Joyner.
Saddleback College, it's Breakfast with Gary and Kelly. Welcome, everybody. We're glad you're here today. How are you? Is everybody having fun?
Yeah, it's a full house.
It is a full house.
It's a full house. Standing room only.
This is our 18th.
18th show?
Our 18th show.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
Wow. How long can we do this, Gary?
I don't know. It's pretty hard. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. You like it?
This is...
Yeah? Will you come back next week?
Yeah. Well, we won't be here next week, but you can come anyway. We're really, really happy to have this guy with us. He is a dear friend as well as a amazing talent.
We've got some great stories too to tell you about him too.
We do.
And how we met him.
Well, that's right.
That's a good story.
Exactly right.
So
he is. You're also going to get a sneak peek today.
Yes.
At a new release that he's working very hard on that comes out, hits the streets the 23rd of October. Mm-hmm. But he's going to get us started right now with his big hit waiting for you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jackiem Joyner.
Thank you. They're all yours.
Hi. You guys doing good? Thank you. Well, like you said, I'm going to play one of my biggest songs from my sophomore CD, Low Man Soul. This one's entitled "I'm Waiting for You."
everybody. Hey, man. We had them all hours. Stick around here on Breakfast with Gary and Kelly. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Wow. Wait a minute.
Welcome back to Breakfast with Gary and Kelly. Don't you hate that darn mic? I know. I hate that
weird.
thing, too. You know what?
Let me fix it for you.
No, we can make it real
No,
simple
I can
if you
do
want
it.
to do
There
this.
we go.
I know.
There.
We can do this, too.
Oh.
See, I can be a mic guy.
Whatever.
I think.
You know, good to see
What's
you,
up?
man. Thanks for being here.
I am so glad to be here. This is about the earliest show I think I've done so far.
I was going to say, I heard that you and your wife got here at 7 o'clock this morning.
You know, what is
Yeah.
that, 6 minutes in and you're complaining? That's
yeah.
a new record for a guest. What the heck? Okay, good night. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. What in the
You
world?
got here at 7.
Yeah.
I know, you came really early.
I'm an early guy. You know, I just
You just
generally,
found that out
I just
today,
generally
too,
play the
didn't you?
saxophone early. But I loved it. It was
Yeah.
great. The audience here.
Where'd you
Mission
come
Viejo,
from? Where do you guys live?
I live in Palmdale.
Holy moly.
Yeah, we
Well, I've
we
been
caught
to
a
Palm. It's like 4 hours away.
we caught a bus, a train, a plane, and we drove and caught a taxi.
It's been really balmy and nice out there, too, lately.
I know,
hasn't
right?
it?
It's hot.
Oh,
Oh, man.
man.
100 degrees every day.
Oh,
my God.
Lordy. Lordy.
But you're not
Yeah.
complaining.
Sometimes I do. It's nice
How
down
funny.
here,
Isn't it nice?
This
Yeah.
is fun. Well, you know this at least getting here. You know this place.
Yeah.
The Bash, right
The
out
Bash.
right out here. I tell you, I want to publicly acknowledge and thank you. If we haven't done this before, and we may very well have, but I know a couple years ago at the Bash, and you've done the last several of them.
Yes.
A couple
Right.
years ago, all of a sudden, we found ourselves with half of the sax players, more than half of the sax players, decided to leave, and we ended up with just
Yeah.
you and Mindy. And
wow.
well, I was going to say you got your money's worth, but of course you don't get paid. So the heck
well,
with that.
You know, it's the thing. I'm such a nice guy, you know. And someone offered me. They said, you know, you want to dip? I was like, oh, that wouldn't be nice. Then they wouldn't have any saxophone players, and then I get all the attention too. So.
You played, I think, almost every song, you and Mindy.
Yeah. But we enjoy it. I mean, it's just a fun event, really.
We've had some fun at that thing,
Yeah, I mean,
haven't
it's
we?
just working with a lot of musicians that don't know your music, and we try
Yeah.
to play it.
So
How
when you-
about? I know it's true.
But you know, it's just very experimental and exciting and very adventurous.
You know, I have to tell you, I think you were involved with one of the real funny and fun moments. The closing jam a couple years ago with Joe Sample.
Ah, remember?
Oh my God!
He reminds me of my music teacher. Oh my gosh.
Oh, is that right?
He
but
was
we
cur-
can't repeat what he said.
Oh, I can. Yeah, he was cursing at the musicians.
We
right?
can't repeat
Oh, so funny, so funny.
He wanted to pass the hat at the end of the song.
Well,
He wanted everybody to,
Yeah, right.
because
Well,
it was so awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
being
well, I
on
mean,
stage.
that's my first time meeting him and playing with him, and being a part of the Bash, you know, allowed me to do that. And you know, I've been listening to his music back when I was in high school, so he was one of my favorite piano players. So,
Wow.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
brilliant.
yeah,
he's
I mean,
brilliant.
he's just awesome.
How fun.
Writer, composer.
How fun.
So that was fun.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It's a great video too. It's a
Oh,
great
yeah.
video.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, haven't you?
No, you
Oh,
gotta show
all
it.
right.
we'll
Before
have
you
to
get
get-
out of here, I'll show you the link because it's
Yeah.
on YouTube. It's very funny. It's very funny.
Yeah, I'd like to check it out.
Tell us about high school. I'm
High school.
High school. I'd like to go back a little
High
bit
school,
further
yeah,
on
what
how
is it?
you actually got into them. I mean, was your parents musicians? I mean,
Well, you know, my dad is a bass player, but my mom and my dad separated when I was very young. It's interesting to me, I didn't actually start playing saxophone until high school.
so that's why you went to high school.
But that's not where music started for me, though, really. Music started for me in church. And I remember I grew up in the projects with a single mother, and a pastor had came out to the neighborhood, and he did an outreach
Right.
kind of thing. And I was so excited because they had a drill team, and people were dancing and singing, and there was food, and
You were how old about?
probably about 11. Yeah, I was pretty
Very
young.
impressionable age.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
going, I want to do
yeah,
that.
I mean, I had never thought about music notes, but so we immediately joined the church, and I wanted to be a part of everything. I wanted to be in the choir and
Dance.
Well, I didn't want to dance to it, but I tried that, but I got hurt. No, I mean, I used to listen. I was a big fan of Michael Jackson. I remember, really young. I think it was 8 or or 6 or 7. I don't remember, but I was trying to do the moonwalk or something like that. It didn't turn out too well. But I'm a huge fan of Michael Jackson. But what were we talking about again?
We were talking about you joined the church.
Yeah.
The church?
Of course.
Sorry.
So we went to we actually joined that church, and I wanted to join the youth choir, but I was too young. So it was pretty sad. But I managed to since I was coming to all the rehearsals, and I was always there. They said, well, just let the kid sing.
Let the kids sing.
So and it was great. I was the youngest kid in the youth choir, and it was fun because my new CD is called Church Boy, and there's a story behind it. Every Sunday after church, I would always want to go and bang on the instruments.
Okay.
So I couldn't wait till the pastor was done preaching, so that I could go to the drums or piano and just play around.
Wow.
I was really excited about the drums. And I had started to learn the drums. It wasn't until I picked up the saxophone in high school until I really found that was my place. And it's interesting because I could have picked up any instrument. I was in a music class, and I wanted to join music class. I thought I knew how to play the drums by that time, but the music teacher said that there's enough drummers in the class. So but we have trumpet, tuba, saxes, and he's pointing them out to me. And I looked at him, and I saw the saxophone because it had lots of buttons on it. And I said that would be.
And it was shiny.
And it was shiny. Maybe I could sell it. So I say, hey, let's get that one and figure that one out. And it was so interesting. My first couple of months playing the saxophone, I was playing so loud, and my math teacher said, was that you playing downstairs?
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, I fell in love with the saxophone from that point, and I started to take it really seriously, and it became my instrument of choice, and all of my emotions were able to be projected through that instrument. So I started practicing. I was listening to Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, and then I was listening to the radio. My mom was listening to the radio, and I heard a song come on the radio, and it was My by Gerald Albright. And I heard that song, and I was like, man, wow, who is that? So I immediately bought some of his tapes and some of Bonnie James' tapes and Najee, and was listening to these guys, and I wanted to be like them. It was a huge dream of mine. So
Gerald is amazing.
Oh yeah. That's one of my idols that I look up to. Gerald Albright, Kirk Whalum, Bonnie James. Even Najee. He got me started playing the flute. When I saw him play the flute, he came to Syracuse, New York, which is where I graduated high school. And I heard the flute through the city. It was interesting because we were in a car and I could hear that flute sound coming, and I was like, wow, who is that? So we hurried up and ran to the stage, and the very next day I asked the music teacher, can I use the flute? and I started playing flute, and actually I'm playing flute on my first CD, Baby Soul, and also I played flute when I toured with Keiko Matsui. So and I've played with the Air Force Band of Liberty playing flute. So flute and sax and the piano, those are my instruments.
So back in high school, were you taught how to play this music?
The interesting thing is I wasn't taught how to play contemporary jazz.
But you took music lessons.
I took music lessons on how to get the notes. Once they gave me those 12 notes, I took it and ran with it.
Okay, but you did take a music class in high school.
I was in music class, yeah.
Okay.
Band and marching band. I didn't like that.
So that kind of gave you the basic foundation.
That gave me the basic foundation on how to work around the instrument,
Okay.
and I just kind of took it to the next level. I never owned my instrument. I was in school, and luckily they had instruments there because my mom couldn't.
Program.
Yeah, they had we didn't have to rent. That would have even been harder, So. But I would always take my instrument home. My music teacher would say, you're the only one in the band class taking your instrument home. No one else is taking their instrument home. And I would walk. It was interesting because the school was just close enough to be too far to walk, but you can't catch the bus.
I know. Yeah, I know that deal.
And it was freezing up there too. So Syracuse, New York.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I remember the days. But you can stay in and practice. The concept is if it's cold outside, you won't do too many outside activities. So the only thing to do is practice.
Right.
So,
gotcha. There, see? There you go.
So
Good.
I love it.
Vera, I didn't know a lot of stuff that I found out about you, looking into your background of this thing, including going to the whole deal where you went to Virginia, to Norfolk, and I mean you were homeless.
Well, yeah. Well, let's get to that story. I was born in Norfolk, and up until middle school, my mom moved to Syracuse, New York. And after graduating high school, my mom had moved somewhere else, but I wanted to go to a different place in Virginia, and wound up finding myself without a place to stay for a couple of months. And then it's interesting because I found out how to get a car, but not a place to stay. It's weird. So I was working, and I was staying in my car and going to work for a couple of months. It was a hard time, but eventually I got my act together, got an apartment, and at that time I actually started to write my own music, and I started to experiment with putting tracks together, and I found out that it was something that I really enjoyed doing, putting music together. And I recorded my own CD, in my apartment. My apartment had neighbors, so I had neighbors banging on the door from up, down, left, right.
And they didn't like your music?
I could never really practice. Well, not at like 1 a.m. I was the kind of a person that's like really late. It sounds good up until it's late.
So you were writing this stuff and recording stuff just like on your computer at home?
Well, yeah, I bought this device from a music store which would allow you to record 4 tracks. It was like amazing. So you could have, like, I had a keyboard, and you can record the keyboard, and it would play all of the music on the keyboard on one track, and I was like, cool, I got 3 extra tracks to play saxophone and other things. So I would play the sax and experiment with what it sounded like to the tracks, and figured out how to burn it to CD, and made a CD, and I was selling them at church.
Nice.
Really?
Were you absolutely,
I know, right?
man. Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
What else do you play? Because I mean, when you first got here this morning, to do your sound check, you sat down, you were playing the piano. I mean,
I was, interestingly enough, when I moved back to Virginia from Syracuse, New York, my pastor, who was the pastor that actually came to the ghetto where I was living at, made me the music director of the church, and I was dealing with the choir and
Really?
The devotional team, and that's kind of where I got my piano.
At what age?
This was 18, 19,
Really?
20, 21. So, I playing so much, I figured out chords and things like that, and then I found out how to translate that into my writing. So
really, 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 in many ways, self-taught. I mean, you definitely had.
I would say. I mean, I've had some help along the way, but for the most part, it was something that I was interested in. It was something that I wanted to do, and it was a dream for me to take center stage particularly as a saxophone player. I've always dreamt of being able to play my own music in front of an audience, So having recorded now 4 records and seeing that happen is just, to me, a huge blessing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that,
Wow. Well, we're going to hear you play again.
We are, and in fact, it's a great story. We're gonna get back to it. We're gonna take a break though, and when we come back, we're gonna let him do what he does best.
Yeah.
Play a little saxophone for us. So please stick around here. Breakfast with Gary and Kelly. Welcome back to. I thought you said you didn't want to dance. Look at
I know, man.
You're very close.
I'm
You're
doing
very
the band
close.
away.
Don't make me.
We're this is almost like, see, it looks like it'll look. Here you get the price of 2 for the price of 1. This is
But
the
this is
current
the
one.
cover of his new
This
CD.
is what the new one's going to look like. Church
It's a
Boy.
nice picture, by
It's
the
a great
way.
picture, and we're using some from the photo shoot back there, man.
Yeah.
You're looking nice.
We'll talk about your clothes later.
Yeah. So we're gonna get to hear some of this. I'm thinking
Yes.
nobody else has heard much of these.
No, actually, I'm going to play the first single from the Church Boy record, which is entitled "City on Our Knees," and this is going to radio next month. So
no one's heard this yet on the radio.
No one's heard it yet.
So you
It's
guys
not
are the
even out yet.
first. You guys are the
All right.
first. Woo!
Knock it out.
All
Jackiem
right.
Joyner here.
Ooh, give me chills.
will be. It will be.
City on their knees.
City on Our Knees.
Very
Wow.
nice.
Yes, it was
Very nice.
originally recorded by Toby Mac.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm a huge fan of him. He's a wow. Man, that's supposed to be a really long delay.
Honest to God, I'm telling you.
I think it's somebody's cell phone.
Yeah, so yeah, Toby Mac is kind of like a
Yeah.
pop rock gospel, so I wanted to try.
I was
that
like in the
side.
background doing the clapping. It was great.
You could do another one for us? Another
Yeah,
new one?
yeah. I'm gonna do one. This song that I'm gonna play was originally recorded by Yolanda Adams, and my mom used to play this in the apartment all the time, and I decided that I had to record it.
It's on the CD?
It's on the CD.
Ah, another first for you all out there.
Still I rise.
All right.
Okay.
Very nice.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break, come back and chat with him. Stick around here on Breakfast with Gary and Kelly. Good stuff, and that's a great song. Welcome back here to Breakfast with Gary and Kelly. We have duct taped 17 more microphones onto Jackiem, so he's, God forbid, lightning strikes this place, man.
Wow.
You are doomed.
They are trying to make my government
You look
official. Make me really official. I've got
Exactly.
2 packs. I have a saxophone pack.
Oh,
and-
yeah, you do.
Yeah, it's like, man,
Well, you're prepared.
I'm prepared.
Man.
You're prepared.
That was
There
a
you go.
great song.
Oh, it was.
That second one in particular.
That first
was
one?
really
Yes,
Is that an original?
no. This song was originally recorded by Yolanda Adams.
Oh,
and,
that's
and,
right. Yeah,
And
that's what
you know,
you
my
said.
mom used to play it all the time in the morning, and you know, it used to minister to me. I really love Yolanda Adams' voice,
Yeah.
and you know, I just had to. I had to record that song,
Yeah.
and you know, it was trying to translate it to the saxophone was quite a challenge because you know, Yolanda Adams has a very strong and powerful melodic voice, and I really love it. But it came out the way that I wanted to. You know, I have horns and strings and things like that on it, so we really had a good time recording that track.
Sounded fun. It got
Yeah,
a little funk to it right
Yeah,
there.
well,
Yeah,
That's
that's
something going
church.
on.
You know,
You know,
it's,
like,
something,
yeah.
you know, trying to take you guys back to church. You know, that's the whole goal.
That's right. Let me ask you, who all is out here today? I know Lola's here, and I saw on the RSVP list there was at least another Joyner name on there too. You got a couple.
Well,
is
you
it?
know, my families are. I'm not related to Tom Joyner, by the way.
I
I'd have
kind
more
of
money.
guessed that.
Or Jackie Joyner. I don't think so. It would be interesting to find out if I really was.
Yeah, it would.
But
Yeah, it
you know, being that I'm from Norfolk, Virginia, you know, we have a lot of Joyner. We're Joyner Smith family. So you know, half of us are Smith, half of us are Joyner. Goes all the way
That's my
down
law
to
firm,
South
actually.
Carolina, North Carolina. Virginia up to D.C. and Maryland. So you know,
That's a great area, man.
Yeah.
Norfolk, Virginia, Beach, Virginia. That whole area is beautiful.
It is very beautiful. I must say, you know, I used to go swimming in Virginia Beach all the time, but I didn't really experience the beach until I actually came to California, and then I didn't really experience the beach until I went to Hawaii. So
Well, there's the beach.
so then
yeah.
so then you know, Virginia Beach is great, but
I understand. What did get you out here?
music. You know, after I married my beautiful wife Lola, who's
Yeah.
here,
Where is she anyway?
Where's Lola?
hiding back there.
Oh,
somewhere.
she's
She is hiding, didn't she?
Yeah, you know, so you know, we got married in 2003, and
Did you meet her back here or here?
I met my wife in Virginia
Okay.
at choir rehearsal. She
Ah,
was singing in the
see?
choir.
Oh,
See, and I was
that?
playing the
She could have
saxophone.
sung with it. Yeah?
Yeah, oh, she's singing on the record, by the way.
Oh, good.
Oh.
So, but gosh, what were we talking about?
How,
Well,
what-
you
how you got
getting out here. I know.
Oh,
Okay,
okay, great.
you're with-
So,
we'll get
This is the ADD show,
yeah, I
man.
know,
Let me
right?
tell you.
I know, man. That is like
I'll
I'm an
bring
expert
on
at that.
Yeah, I know. We lead you all over the place.
But yeah, so you know, after we got married, I told her I want to move to California. I want to pursue this
music
whole
career.
instrumental thing,
Yeah.
and you know,
She said,
let's do it.
Oh,
You know, so
yeah.
you know, she gave me a lot of support, and you know, came out here. I met with Rick Braun and Richard Elliott, and they had to assign me to their artisan label.
so
and that started
bring
on
me
the way.
back to high school. How did you get into jazz? I mean, because
you know,
as
there
a
was a-
high schooler,
Well, there was a jazz. The high school had Fowler High School
Okay.
in Syracuse had a jazz program.
because who were you listening to at that time? I mean, were you?
Well, during that time, I was listening to Gerald Albright, Kirk Whalum, Candy Dofer, Boney James. I was listening to those people.
as a high school kid?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Right.
I'm
Yeah.
just
that was-
asking. I
that
was into rock and roll and you know all that stuff. But
Yeah,
I thought
you-
maybe you were. That's interesting.
You know, we had a band,
Uh-huh.
and it was called Increase. It was me and my two brothers. Well, I have a brother that plays bass, and I have another younger brother who plays trumpet and trombone. And we were in high school together because our ages are so
Right.
close. And we played in school. In fact, we played one of Richard Elliott's songs in school. And me and my brother who plays bass, we played one of Richard Elliott's songs at church. And you know, so that's
Oh,
weird.
wow.
But so you know, we were playing this stuff, you know,
Okay.
at a very, very young age, I guess. I guess high school now is young for jazz. It should be younger, really. I think.
Yeah, no doubt. No
well,
doubt.
we're trying.
So who was the first of that group that you met?
Wow, man, the first person that I met was, I think it was Rick Braun.
That
Rick
had
Braun
to
was
be.
the first, yes, because Rick Braun invited me to Cafe Cordial to play with him after I had met with his manager, Steve Chapman. And it was really cool because my little brother was always playing Rick Braun's music on the trumpet. So
You
I
actually got
had
to
I
meet
went to
him.
Rick Braun's house and he got a chance to talk to my little brother.
how funny.
So and it was but when I met some of my inspirational saxophone players, when I met Gerald Albright, I was totally starstruck. And when I met Kirk Whalum, who's actually on this record,
Nice.
we did a duet together. I Smile. Kirk Franklin, we redid that track. It's real fun, and meeting him and talking to him, it was just great. And I was on a 2007 cruise before Wayman Tisdale passed away. It was a Wayman Tisdale cruise at the time. I got a chance to play with George Duke and Marcus Miller, and then I got a chance to play with Najee. Najee surprisingly invited me to the stage. I was just hanging backstage checking out his show, and he said, "Hey guys, we got this new up and coming saxophone player. We're going to bring him to the stage," and he brought me to the stage. That was quite amazing, So it was at that point we were just finishing up my first CD, Baby Soul. And it was I was like, wow, I'm meeting all of the people that I used to listen to, and they're working with me. Wow, I'm gonna be rich.
How's that worked out so far?
I'm still working on it.
So how does it feel to be rich and second right now, man?
So
I'm rich in spirit.
There you go, because you
there you
don't
go.
do this for the
Nice.
money, you do it for
Nice.
the music.
Oh, that was very
See?
good.
Good comeback. After the CD was released and you first heard it on the radio, do you remember that day?
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. KIFM 98.1 was playing it, and I was picking it up all the way in Corona, California, where I was living at the time. And me and my wife were just getting in the car to go to the grocery store and turn it on, and the song "Stay With Me Tonight," which features Peter White. And I was on the radio. It was my first time hearing myself on the radio.
What did you do?
I was amazed. Of course, I sat there. I didn't drive anywhere. I called my mom and my sister.
God, I think
and
I was behind you on the
listen,
freeway
can
that
you hear?
day.
I was putting the phone to the thing, and it was
You guys
really cool.
screaming and stuff?
Yeah, it was one of those moments. Like, man, I'm really gonna be rich.
Again. Oh my God. How did you get hooked up with Keiko?
There was some word that came out about my performance on the 2007 cruise that got back to Keiko Matsui's manager. Now, interestingly enough, I came to San Diego before I moved to California to be a part of the Smooth Jazz Awards, and I had performed with Marcus Johnson at the Smooth Jazz Awards, and I met Keiko, and she had performed, but we never talked. I just was like, wow, this is interesting Japanese lady with a purple dress and purple candles and smoke, and I was like, that's interesting. I was like, wow, man.
I'm in California now.
Yeah, I was like, wow. So I said hi, and that was it. And then about 7 years later, I did I didn't really have to audition. It was like they picked me, I guess. So I go to have rehearsal with Keiko Matsui, and her manager gives me the 4 songs. He said, he says you're only going to play on 4 songs, and she's going to play piano on the rest. So I said, cool. So 4 songs is really easy. That's more than when I play on my own show.
Since
So
you're
when I
all
went
rich,
to rehearsal,
since you're all rich and everything.
exactly. Well, I was on the road to it. But I go to rehearsal, and I got the 4 songs down. And she's like, yeah, we have like 8 more songs that you're supposed to know. So, and we're flying to Moscow the very next morning. My first show with Keiko Matsui was in Moscow.
Oh, Lordy.
Yes, so I had a lot of work on the plane, listening.
What's the flight time?
Oh man, gosh.
It's like
I
16
don't
hours
know.
or something?
It was a really long flight.
Well, good for you.
Yeah. We came there in the summertime, and it was really interesting because at the airport, 2 guys picked us up. They were Russian, and one guy had a T-shirt on that said CIA, and another guy had a T-shirt on that said FBI. And I said, they're joking us. So then when we get in the car and we're going to the hotel, it's interesting.
It's that Moscow sense of humor that they're so famous for.
Well, the guy was driving like 1,000,000 miles an hour through traffic, and I'm like, man, why do we have to drive that fast? But anyways, that's a side story.
Wow.
So we went to a theater to perform, and I had learned the music, and my first show was at this really
12
ancient
songs.
theater. It was 12 or 13, I think, but it was like an ancient theater that I performed at.
Wow.
And that was it. That was when it started. And since then, we've been to Japan,
Yeah, it's
Russia,
been a great-
Romania,
Been all over.
Turkey, currently just all over. We actually just did a 2-month tour in Russia. We toured the entire country of Russia by bus and train in the wintertime.
In the winter
We even
time.
went to Siberia.
Man.
Holy moly.
That's
so that was
a
a
long
tough
way
trip.
from sleeping in your car, man.
Oh man,
the
I prefer
winter?
sleeping in the car.
Darn. Was it like Dr. Zhivago, you know, with the
Well,
hats
sure,
and
now
the...
that
Oh
you're
yeah,
fur
actually I
coats?
got one of those hats too.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I was
That's
like
great.
the only black guy for 1,000 miles. It was really
Kind of like
interesting.
today, huh?
But so that was interesting. But now
Wow.
we're performing together, and I'm on her latest record.
So what's next? What's next for you?
Well, that's
Well,
next.
the
Yeah,
CD's
that's the
coming out
next
this
thing.
year.
Hello.
I know that, but where are you playing? Are you playing somewhere?
Well, I'm going to be coming back down to San Diego to do anthology.
Oh, and speaking of San Diego, that's how we met our friends from San Diego, Carrie and
Oh, yeah,
Eric.
right.
Yes,
Exactly.
And they have been such an
Yeah.
help
Yeah, they
to
are.
the whole
And if it wasn't
smooth
for
jazz
you, we wouldn't have
community.
met them.
Yeah, and I think there was a story behind. Eric tells me that he met her when I came and played a song. I don't remember which song it was that I played when you met Carrie, and he would always tell me that. But they've been helping. They've made T-shirts for
Yeah,
Team Jackiem
exactly,
T-shirts and things
exactly.
like
They're
that.
great
so.
people.
So you're playing at the Anthology in San Diego when?
Yes, October 19th, I think
Okay,
it is.
good.
Myself and Paul Brown. And I'm going to be at Catalina.
Oh, yeah.
October 14th.
Are we going to be in Catalina?
Yeah.
Is that a Saturday?
We're going to be there all 3 Saturdays.
I think
You know
it's
that.
a Saturday. I'm not sure.
We'll be there.
We'll
So,
figure it out.
yeah,
Yeah.
come on
But
by.
my
Good for you.
website, www.JackieMJoyner.com, has my tour schedule.
That's
Yeah.
one with all the dollar bills and stuff on it.
Yeah. So
you're
the
so rich.
road to a millionaire.
So we're going to take a
Running
break.
out of time.
We're going to take a break and come back and let Jackiem play another tune for us here. Stick around.
Yeah.
Breakfast with Gary and Kelly, everybody. Welcome back. Now we got one of these mics here. We got to do this to you. We got to see, make sure you're okay. All right. Very good.
You're
Very
free.
nice. Have we held up this thing yet? Did you get the idea what the new CD is going to look like, everybody?
Yeah.
Church boy. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Oh, wait, is that subtle enough
And
for
people
you?
can't get these right now, right? It's not available?
Pre-order them right now.
You
from
could-
the web.
But
So pre-ordering the CDs
pre-ordering the CDs, you can go to my website. There's a link to pre-order CDs, and also you can pre-order out here, where we get your name and everything, and you can we'll have the label mail them out to you. So
Oh, that'd be really
yeah,
good.
so
That'd
you
be
can
nice.
get started now. The road to me being a millionaire. No.
Starts right here
Yeah.
in Mission Viejo.
Yep, I remember the
it does.
day.
Exactly right.
And then when you come back when
Exactly
you're
right.
like rich and famous, you'll remember us, right?
Of course, absolutely.
He's not going to remember us. What are you talking
So what are you
about?
gonna play for us? What are you gonna take us out
I'm going to
with?
play a song that was originally recorded by Israel Houghton. It's a devotional song that a lot of people know, and it's called "You Are Good."
Ooh,
Oh, very nice.
Thank
Jackiem
you.
Joyner, everybody.
All right.
Nice.
Thank you. Mwah. Oh my
Thanks so much for
gosh.
being here, man. Thank
You
you
guys,
so much.
don't
Great
forget,
crowd, huh?
October 23rd,
Joyner, everybody.
his CD comes out. Get your copy.
We'll be
Thank you
back
so
in
much.
2 weeks with Bobby Caldwell. Thanks for watching.
That's
We'll see you
right.
next time.
Thank you.
From Saddleback College, here's Breakfast with Gary and Kelly, ladies and gentlemen, here on FM 88.5 KSPR Music. There from Cindy Bradley, the tune On Solid Ground from her Bloom release. And that is the end of the back announce. Thank you very much. So now, ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. Here's the thing. The word is that many of you in the audience that were waiting outside in line were asking, hey, is Kelly cooking today? Really? Really? By the way, say hello to distinguished...
Hey, hello everybody.
customer,
My name's Dave Leckness.
Leckness,
Hello everybody. Thank you very much.
It's
Thank
Dave Leckness up here.
Lukewarm applause. Lukewarm applause.
Exactly. To help us, we figured, okay, you want it, you asked for it, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is from the KSPR Test Kitchens, located in the heart of our Research and Development Center. It's time once again for Cooking with Kelly.
Yes,
Very
I love
nice.
it. Woo-hoo!
Very nice.
My Vanna White here.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Thank you, Vanna. Shouldn't you
Okay,
have done
thank
this
you.
before the damn segment, Kelly? For God's sake. I'm sorry. So, okay, what are we
So
doing?
today we're going to have, so those of you who have children at home and you can't get them to eat breakfast, or maybe you have a very rushed husband
A rushed
who
husband.
wants to get out the door and he doesn't
Sure.
want to eat breakfast, and you want
Sure.
to make sure you give him something to eat before he leaves.
But
This
something
is
fun.
Something fun, because it has been hot these couple of weeks.
Right,
So why
which-
not a breakfast popsicle?
See? Oh,
Sounds good.
exactly.
A breakfast popsicle. And
It's a
so-
popsicle for breakfast.
Exactly, and it's very easy to make, and it's very healthy for you too.
Well,
So what you're going to do is, Dave, I'm going to
Well-
have you
Okay.
take a couple of those dollops here, and put it right. Yeah, put
Dave,
it right
you
in
have
there.
been sanitized, correct?
Yes.
Well, he's not touching anything,
No,
but
no,
he's
no.
okay.
No,
Yeah,
this
but-
looks good.
So
All
put
right,
put
two
some
of
more.
those.
Yeah, put
Oh,
some more in
more?
there.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want to put like
And
about
this
a
is
cup of
yogurt?
This is yogurt. I got low-fat yogurt.
What brand of yogurt
Oh,
is
don't-
this?
be careful.
Smells good.
Oh,
Smells
God.
good. Smells good. It's not fresh. I was checking if it.
Okay, I
'cause
think that's
I know if
enough.
it's sour smelling,
That's-
it's not good.
that's enough.
Right?
Yeah, how can you
And
tell?
so I have strawberries here. See, strawberries and a kiwi.
Oh, this looks good.
Okay, but
Oh, yeah, doesn't it?
No, it really does.
it does smell good. And
Okay.
blueberries.
Blueberries.
Okay.
Who's writing all this
And
down? No one.
Some
no one
honey,
again is
just a little
taking
bit of
notes.
honey, because we want to make it a
Swish
little
it.
sweet.
No one ever takes
Jeez.
notes during this.
So, and sometimes I could use like agave nectar if you want to
Agave
be
nectar.
really, kind of.
Let's put one more of these on. Just
yeah, there you go. Exactly right.
Oh, jeez, Dave.
Oh, for God's sake, I'm going to have to wash
I'm
the damn
sorry.
tablecloth
I'm sorry.
again.
Oh, jeez. I gotta move that
Okay.
closer.
And then we have, Dad, that's enough. Jeez. And then we've got some banana.
Now, how thick are
okay?
you cutting that banana?
Doesn't matter, because we're going to zap
Doesn't
it.
matter. See, this is beautiful.
This is a Vitamix.
All right.
It's got a 1.5 motor
Gigamite.
1.5
Is that right?
horsepower engine.
Nice. I got my necktie caught in one of those once.
So seriously. And you just zap it up.
Ah.
Look at
See
that.
that? And
No,
you're
that-
done?
By the way, I just realized we're going to have to wait for that to freeze. This is going to be a long segment.
No, because I already did it.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that. How does she do it?
And
So how do you get them out of there?
Stop it. It's very... See, I haven't mastered that part yet.
No, wait a minute. So what are you saying? Have you
Slow,
ever made
nice
these
and
before?
slow.
No, I haven't.
Well, you're talking like you do this all the time,
Well,
and
I
you've
do.
never made one?
I do. This is an experiment. But
All
I
right.
did make some other ones, and I put them in little cups. Where's my
Do I have
famous...
these? No.
Leslie, see, Leslie, see, look,
Oh,
see,
God.
look, see, they have them in cups. So I have something for everybody.
So this is where the spin to win comes in. First place gets one. Second place has to eat two of those.
well,
so
no,
that's
I
really
just have to figure out how to warm them up and get them out. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Just pull it out.
Trying to.
Come on, we
Put
can get
baby in it. Don't
I know, we
baby
can
it,
get
man.
this out
Take
of here.
control of this
Exactly
thing.
right. Exactly right.
Wiggle.
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
see?
I cannot let that-
Look at, I got mine
You
out.
got one out.
Forget it.
I got mine out.
Yay, Gary got.
You're right.
There you go.
That's the way to do it.
This does not mean I'm going to eat it.
Why not?
I'll definitely eat that.
But look,
gonna eat that?
Gary, look.
What?
Look.
Oh, it's like it
wow.
makes a face.
You made a face.
Yeah,
And
well.
and so what I
It
did
needs
was
sugar.
I put
It needs
chunks.
sugar.
I put chunks. I put chunks.
Really, it needs
God.
like about 4 spoons of sugar. I swear to God. It's like
This is healthy for you. It's like yogurt.
It's got that taste that
What taste?
No, it doesn't. If it's
No,
good
you
for you,
need
it doesn't.
sugar.
It's supposed to
Everything with
taste
sugar.
nasty.
Well, look.
That's natural stuff.
You know what
no
you can
good.
also do? Check it out. You can take this.
I'm not kidding. Try it. Pass it around.
Oh,
Sugar.
shut
Yeah,
up.
sure. You know, you should
Look.
put some
I'm
high
not-
chew in there. How
Look,
about that?
we can put granola on it.
Oh,
That makes it
okay,
even
okay.
better.
I can't
See?
believe you're eating that.
Better? Say
Yeah,
yes.
it takes the bite out of it. No, really. The nuts take the that awful
What
healthy
awful?
taste.
It's not awful. It's
Don,
really
you want to get this
good.
over to the lab?
So that's my breakfast popsicle.
I think
All right, so very nice.
I think I chipped a tooth on a guava.
You can use all kinds of different other ingredients. You can use all kinds of different fruits. You
Name
can-
them.
melons,
Okay. Oh.
cantaloupe.
That's a melon.
You can even use vegetables if you wanted to put some vegetables in there.
You're not going to finish, Dave?
I'm gonna eat it later. I'm gonna take it for later.
All right, here. This will get
No,
some
it
high
really is
chew
good.
will get the taste out of your mouth.
So,
Now this is nice.
Yeah,
I
it
chew.
is.
oh, stop. Okay, so that's my breakfast popsicle. It looks really
No,
good.
it really tastes good. Actually, after it goes through, it leaves
No, it
like a
doesn't.
nice oaky finish
Gary?
on the palate.
It's delicious. And I brought one for everybody, so y'all better eat it.
Oh, nice. That's
No, that was
the
good.
way you
Thank
want
you.
to do
That
it.
was great.
No, I'm only kidding. You don't have to. But it
All
is
right.
healthy, and it is good for you. And
Again, people were
Okay,
asking for this in the line.
No, I see
know.
people eating it out there, and
See?
I see a positive response
I know.
from some of the.
well, at
Yeah.
least it doesn't have whipped cream
Although
on
that
it.
one
And I
lady
hear
just went to the restroom. I don't know what that
Did
meant.
you see what he did last week with whipped cream?
Yes.
Oh, my
that's
God.
dangerous.
Well, it's
very
that's what
dangerous.
You do. All right,
So,
very nice. This has been
thank
Cooking
you.
with Kelly. For a transcript of this recipe, do something. Go to our thing and write it down. Copy it down. All right,
Yes.
very nice. All right, we're going to play some music and come back. When we come back, we'll be joined by Jackiem Joyner. Stick around, everybody, here on Breakfast with Gary and Kelly.